Welcome to another ALEKS Geometry Topic instructional video by Mr. Hardy. In this video, what we're going to look at are learning the definitions of three things. They're called chords, secants, and tangents. And it's all related to a circle, so they're lines that are affected by a circle. So the information they tell you is G is the center. That's the center, and the distance from N to M, this distance across, is what we call the diameter. Hopefully you're already familiar with those, but that's some information. JK intersects the circle at M, so J and K intersects, or you could call it just barely touches, just touches in one spot. And then LI, L to I, intersects at the circle at F and at N. Okay, so that's just a bunch of fancy stuff that you can already see. So, by the way, whenever I have background information in my video, this is good stuff that you should probably put into your notebook for later use. Anyway, these are the definitions. So a secant line is a line that intersects the circle at exactly 2 points. So this line would not be a secant line because it only intersects at 1. But this line over here, as it cuts through the circle, it has a point here and a point here. So we would say line L to I would be a secant line. A chord is a segment, so a line that starts somewhere and then stops somewhere, is a segment whose endpoints lie on the circle. Okay, so they give you F to M. F to M is a chord because it has it's a segment. It starts and it stops on the circle. Now, it's also true that F to N is a chord. So you could also say F to N. Okay. Now, a tangent line is this one here that barely touches, a line that intersects the circle at exactly 1 point. Now, they say intersect. I don't really even like to say intersect. I think of it as just touching, just barely touching. Okay, so J to K is a tangent line. Alright, so these are the definitions that you need to know. Now let's take a look at another example. So we don't have the definition, so let's see if we can do this. Okay, give a chord. Okay, so that's a segment. So here's a chord right here. L to N. L to N is a chord. Also, N to K is a chord. N to K. So there's 2. Okay, now give a secant line. So a secant line is a line that intersects in 2 places. So that would be H to J because it intersects at L and N. So that would be H to J, that line. And then finally, give a tangent line. Well, again, if you remember, tangent means to just barely touch. Barely touch. Then it would be M to I. M to I. That line. Okay, that's pretty much all there is to it. Later you're going to learn that there's some properties associated with these chords, secants, and tangents that we can use. But right now we want to make sure you know the definitions of these things. Okay, good luck.